Hello, thank you so much for joining me. And how lovely it is to be able to have daffodils in the house. I bought these, they were all tight buds, but I love to see them gradually opening. I love the colours. I just love the idea that, yeah, spring is on its way. Hello, Mishka. Coming to join me, but he will only be here briefly because he doesn't like being held. No, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. So any background meowing, you know what it is. And when I was walking the other day, I was looking at and commenting on an old oak tree that still had some of last year's leaves clinging on. And we've had some real hoolies of wind and plenty of rain hammering down, but those leaves have hung on. Yeah, they were down at the bottom, so they were obviously quite sheltered. But I thought, what am I hanging on to? What are you hanging on to? Do you hang on to things? I know I've always been accused of being a squirrel, and I blame that on having been a teacher for so long. If I saw something, oh, that would be a good resource, and I kept them. And as a crafter, I hang on to fabrics and pieces of fabric that might come in useful in the future. There's a reason for those hanging-ons. So I imagine that any other crafters, any other people with hobbies are very much the same. But then what about in here? Do you hang on to things that maybe you'd be better getting rid of? Maybe giving a good old shake, and as I said in a previous vlog some time ago, let those dead leaves fall. Because hanging on to stuff like that, it gives us food for thought, food for rumination. And in a previous recording talking about the morning collywobbles, those things that we hang on to can be something that comes up in the night. And yes, but, and I should have, and I did try, but they go round and round and round in your mind. So you don't sleep well, you can't sleep. And the next morning, you've got the collywobbles. So drop as many of those negative things as you can. It's not easy. Maybe have a go at, this sounds interesting. Some people think, great idea, and others think, oh, she's lost the plot. But I find that with a lot of clients, just writing down these things, getting them out of here onto paper, and then screwing them up and having a little bonfire, or I throw them onto my wood burner. And you're physically getting rid of that thing on which you are dwelling. It might pop back in, but then just attempt to, all right, fine, off you go. Don't dwell on it. Don't, like the cow in the field, chewing away at a bit of grass. Don't chew away at that thought. But sometimes we're brought up against a stone wall. I had that. I had been being gaslit by somebody who was very close to me, and it hurt. It hurt like billy-o. And I had reached the stage where the stress levels were way up there. And my wonderful friend said, right, you can't go on like this. Go and see the doctor. And I can't to this day remember whether she phoned and made an appointment, but she took me. And when it was my turn to go in. She said, "Do you want me to stay here?" So she came in with me. And as soon as I sat down in the doctor's office, the tears started and I couldn't say a word. She said, "Can I speak for you?" And that was A, a letting go with the tears coming, but B, the words that the doctor said. And she said, "If you don't get rid of this level of stress, you're not going to be around. You cannot take it." Oh, right, okay. So that meant that I had to cut off the source of the stress, block it, get rid of it. It was the hardest thing, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. But for my survival, it was vital. So have a look at what is going round in your mind. Maybe there are people who have become excess to requirements. Not, "Oh, I've got so many friends, I don't bother seeing them again." But maybe their relationship has become rather toxic. You need to make that break for your well-being. And it's not easy, but it is a job well done. So when you've done it, you need to take that deep breath. And I did it. It needed doing. Now I move on. So have a think. Maybe there are places that you feel now too many memories. I know I had places like that for a while, but over time I can go there no problem at all. So give yourself time. If it's not causing the stress levels to go up and up, the anxiety levels to go up and up, judge each situation by its merit. But most of all, be kind to yourself. That's not being selfish. Self-care is vital. And I don't mean go out and spend a fortune on new clothes or anything like that. If you've got the money and you want to, then fine. But just allow yourself to say, "Sod it, I've had enough today." Sit down, curl up, read a book, listen to music, watch something on the television, whatever. The other day I went to the supermarket and I thought, I've got a busy week this week. So I actually bought a couple of ready-made meals and thought, right, why have you done that? You could have cooked. Yes, but that would have added pressure. So I was being kind to myself. I did buy decent ones, not the cheap and cheerful. And being kind to ourselves is vital. So on that note, having been kind to myself and bought the daffodils, but I did also buy some friends as well. You take care, and thank you so much for joining me. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.